Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. And what do we have on the plans for today? Well, we're carrying on with our IDICBeer's 2015 January painting challenge. And in the last video, I was trying to get to grips with what exactly the Asterian forces are. Well, these are all called ciphers. They're basically biomechanical constructs, the radio controlled robots kind of thing. Not necessarily robots, cyborgs, androids, whatever. Supported by autonomous drones, which are these things. They're controlled by a pilot, which can be either off in a spaceship somewhere or completely out of the way, or even some of them can actually come and fight with them in some cases. So these are the autonomous drones, these are ciphers, and this is the commander. So the commander of the one actually called an overseer. So we have three different ones. We have three at the back here on with this weapon, which is a no rifle, N-O-H rifle, no. So we have three of those. We have three with fission beamer. Sorry, no, this is the charge glove, sorry. I picked up the wrong one, then I was trying to pick that one up and I picked up the wrong one. So we have three of these with the charge glove. As you can see, you've got your little mechanical-y thing there, or weapon-y thing there. And the one I was going to pick up, this is the fission beamer. Big gun, big gun, big gun. And then you've got the one we're currently working on, which is the black talon. So basically I picked up the right colour for this one, when it's all black. Okay, so that's the rundown of the force, just in case you don't know about the Asterians. Now, before we carry on with this one, I want to do something. In my past videos I've said about using PVA glue to make the gems in certain areas a little more shiny, but I've been recommended to try hard coat, so I got some. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a shake, make sure it's all nicely mixed in, and then in a few areas we're going to get some hard coats used. So what I'm going to do is, with the hard coats, I'm going to use some on here. I'm not necessarily sure what it's supposed to be, but what the hell, doesn't make any difference. I'm going to use some. There we are. Again, do some on here, on the bits where I've done in this turquoisey colour. Is going to be gone over in the hard coat. So that's it for the turret. Just got a couple of areas here that need doing. It has been pointed out to me that if if any of this gets wet, the PVA could actually run, so I'm better off using hard coats. Well, that's right or not, I don't know. I'm also going to use the hard coats on the middle bit of the charge gloves. So there we are. And I'm not worried about real precision on getting these directly in the centre area. It'll all look okay when it's finished. So we'll see how that looks when it's done. But now, let's carry on. We're going to continue with the, I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to continue highlighting the darker talon. I'm going to push these out of the way so we can concentrate more on your man here. So we've got to highlight the red first of all, and for this we're going to be using Evil Sun's Scarlet. I already have some on my palette, so I'm just going to get some on my brush and there we go. Now, I know there's not much of a difference in the colours on this. I am going to make it a little bit brighter by adding a touch of orange once this has dried to certain or to further highlight it. But so for now, that's all we can really do for highlighting the red area. Okay, some areas are not going to be as highlighted as others, so that's what we have to watch for. Okay, next we're going to be highlighting the black areas. Now, I did say that in my previous video, at least I think I said it. I'm not sure whether I said it or whether it was something I said while I was painting and cut it out when it came down to editing when I'd speed it up. Some of the painting, but you find when you're doing blacks and whites when you're painting that blue, for black, blue is the ideal highlight colour, and for white, blue is the ideal shadow colour. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're mixing the fang, a little bit of the fang in with sort of the Abaddon black, just to brighten the black up, make it a little more bluish. I need to pick up some more fang now. I've noticed. I was in the shop yesterday, I should have picked some up but I didn't. And I found my other tub of Abaddon black, so we're all fine and dandy. So what I've done is I've mixed some of the fang in with the black, and we're just going to add little areas and again, this is where there's the ridges on the top. I don't want to be covering up anything that any detail that's there, so I'm using like a flat brush and just patting along the top of it rather than actually painting it. And on here I'll do a little bit, same with here. Okay, so that's the main bit of highlighting done. Next we're going to come back and do some more extreme highlights, and for this what we're going to be using first off is For the red areas we're going to be using some Troll Slayer orange. And we'll use this, a little bit of that, and we'll mix a little bit of red in just so that it's not too much of a difference in shade, but it's bright enough that it will show up a lot more. And we'll just do a little bit of edge highlighting. Like so. And the same here as well. There we go, so that's the red areas highlighted. And now what we're going to be doing is concentrating on the on the black areas, and we're just sticking with the fang for this. It's just quite literally the fang. We're not doing anything brighter. But there's still some areas of this like there's going to be just picked out. Like so. Now, that was the whatchamacallit. That was the highlight for the figure. We're going to be doing the highlights now for the rubble, which is going to be Calidor Sky. Was it Calidor Sky used? I don't think it was it? It was the Altdorf Guard Blue, wherever that may be. There we are. It was a little bit darker. Yeah, so it's the Altdorf Guard Blue which we're using for the highlights for the rubble. So I'll pop that on a wet palette. And for this one we're going to be using our this one we're going to be using our dry brush, using our small dry brush for this, and it's just a case of get the paint on the brush as little as we can and just at the tops. We're not seeing much of this, to be honest. It's not a really big difference in shade, to be honest. I think we'll have to just add a touch more and give it not as much of a dry brush. There we are. And now what we'll do is mixing in some of the iron oxide when I can find it. Is that it? Yes. Iron oxide with the black, and we'll do exactly what we did on the others, which was to just add some scorch marks all over, and it's just dab on. That's all we're doing for this. Dab, 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 and it just shows burn and scorch marks as though it's actually been in a kind of battle and being burnt by incendiaries and whatever. There we are. There we go. That's that. Now, here we are. Last bit. What we need to do now is think about the gun. Well, for the gun, I'm going to be just dry brushing over with Runefang steel. This is a new pot, so hopefully the paint will be a touch brighter. There we go. And because I want a much more detailed kind of a dry brush, I'm going to be using this on my standard brush rather than using a dry brush. There we go. I mean, technically speaking, it's not a dry brush. I'm actually positioning where I want it to be rather than just rubbing it over. But there's some areas where it's a mix between a detail painting and a dry brush. And then once we've done this, it's a wash with Nuln Oil, just to dull it all back down again. But I want this really bright. There we go. Certain areas I want really bright, other areas I want quite dull. And then once that is complete, once that's dried, we'll be going towards the wash with the Nuln Oil. But I'm going to wait for that, and before we go, what I want to do is go over this fella with Abaddon Black. So this is a very thin, watered down black because I don't want it covering too much detail. Like I say, I just want it to cover the white dry brushing that I've done. So I'll give that a chance to dry. Hopefully now that silver has dried, or Runefang steel has dried, and it seems to have. So I just need to look for my null and oil. It was the first one I picked up, that was a change. Here we go. And all over the gun with the null and oil. We don't want this too heavy. We just want it to pick out, or to just reside in the recesses and dull down the shininess of the roofing steel that we've just put on. Oh yeah, and to all intents and purposes now this model is complete. What I will however do is get some of the Abaddon black and just go over the eyes again. Because it looks yet again as if the mask has been painted over. There we are. So there's our black talon. I'm just going to join it in the middle there. There's our black talon painted. I think what I might do actually is go over this part here with the orange, this part here with the orange, okay, you'll like this bit, I hope. It's just before we go. And then get some Froshgit's yellow. Extreme highlight there. Extreme highlight there. And then well, I've got it. It would be silly not to use it. A bit more hard coat. And go over this bit completely. Just to make it that bit shinier. There we are. And there we have our Asterian completed paint wise. It's just a case of, as I say, put on the basing material on it and then I can paint that. So that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found the background information, or the brief background information on the Asterians, or the squad I've got, rather, interesting. It is nice to it is a nice squad to build actually. The only thing I'm not really too keen on is the way these fit on the this is very top heavy, and you know, you'd need something in the little bit of Tipex, not Tipex, what am I talking about, a little bit of blue tack or something like that just to hold it in. But if you do that, it's not going to move during gameplay. Whether that's important to you or not, I don't know. I mean, obviously you could drill into it, but it's the only thing I'm not really too keen on, and it's just with that gun. You don't seem to get it in any of the others. As you can see with that, it's not too bad. The same with the other one. It's just this gun, because it's so long, it's not necessarily top heavy, it's just front heavy rather. So, but that's it. It's the only gripe I found about these. But yeah, trivial little matter, nothing to write home about or put a complaint in about, but still, never mind. There we have our Black Talon. So that's it for this video. So until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.